Good morning, students. Welcome to our class, Biological Science. Dear students, in the previous class, we have started our lesson, Adolescence. What is adolescence? The age between 13 to 19 years is known as adolescence. Okay, the teenagers. I already told you that the effects are the changes either in the body, externally or internally, and the behavior of the person also takes place in this adolescence. Because of that, most of the parents or their friends are worried about their sudden change of behavior. We discussed that number of things. Okay, what are the changes that occurs in the adolescence? The age gap between 13 to 19 years is known as adolescence. In this stage, the students are the adolescents are growing. During the growth, the changes that occurs internally and externally. The examples we have already discussed that the facial hair is growing, the muscles growing, the chest becomes wider, and they are increasing in the height. Okay, so different types of things we discussed that, and we discussed about the important thing, Adam's apple, and what causes the change of voice in the boys. What are the reasons for changing of voice in the boys? Changes of voice in the boys is Adam's apple. We discussed that it is made up of 9. Adam's apple is made up of 9 cartilages. Voice box. It is made up of 9 cartilages. Among thyroid cartilage protrudes outside. We discussed everything about it. Now we are going to see that other characters that we have observed in this stage. The first one is the sexual phase of the adolescence, reproductive phase. Reproductive phase of adolescence. Okay, reproductive phase of adolescence. The life of reproductive phase in the adolescence. We all know very well, all the adolescents, boys and girls are capable to perform the reproduction. Okay, all the adolescents, boys and girls are capable for performing reproduction. So, when their testes develops and ovaries develops, in the girls, ovaries are present, testes present in the boys. The adolescents, boys and girls are ready to, or they have the capable of performing reproduction because the testes and ovaries are developed and they release the gametes called here the sperms and here the ovum. Okay. There is no a particular gap of a particular period of age for the reproduction. It approximately starts from the 11 to 15 years. Okay, it starts 11 to 15 years. Okay, so but nowadays the girls are reaching the adolescence very faster than the expected. The girls are reaching the adolescence faster, more faster. They are approaching or they are reaching the adolescence more faster than they expected. So one of the reasons or the observations explains that the consumed food which is polluted, the food which was polluted, it is the reason for reaching of adolescence very fastly, rapidly in the girls. The example is the estrogen that present in the milk. Estrogen in milk. We are taking packet powder. We are using packet powders nowadays. And also the cows are buffalo cows which use milk to us are buffaloes. They are also extracting or giving the milk by doing some injections. Okay now. You will learn more about it in the coming sections. Okay, the milkmaids, the persons who rearing these animals, milkmaids and the farmers, they have given some injections to increasing the quantity of the milk. Okay, so because of that, the estrogen in the milk that causes the girls to reach the adolescence very fast. Do you understand? Okay, the reproduction takes place by the fusion of male and female gametes. At the same cause, what is that? The estrogen in the milk delays the boys to reach the adolescence. Do you understand what I am saying, boys and girls? Here I am explaining reproductive phase. All the adolescent boys and girls are ready for, they have the capable for reproduction. Reproduction means importance is to continue their races. Yes or no? Reproduction is the main purpose of continuation of the human race. Either human race or animal race or birds. Race means what? Jati. Okay, so they are capable for between the year 11 to 15. So nowadays, by observing that the girls are reaching this adolescence more fastly than the boys because of the polluted food, the estrogen which present in the milk, and the same thing that delays the reaching of boys to the adolescence, okay, due to the estrogen in the milk. Okay, so in these adolescents, okay, in these adolescents, the matured ovum is released from the ovaries and sperms are released from the testes. Okay, so in this way they are capable for reproduction. Here we have to identify one thing. Even though they are ready for reproduction, but their mental growth and maturity is not ready. They are still far away from that mental growth and mental development. Do you understand? So mental growth and maturity is still far away. Okay, only their bodies are growing, but their mental conditions are not growing. So in this case, when the fertilization is occurs, zygote is formed. If the fertilization does not occur, what happens? Menstruation occurs. Okay, so here we are going to explaining about how these eggs are released from this, about the menstruation. Okay, the first menstruation in the adolescence is called menarche. What is that? The first menstruation, starting of the first menstrual cycle starts in the woman is known as menarche. It starts around the year 10 to 12 years. Okay, so after that, from every month, one matured egg is released from the ovary. One matured egg, that means ovum is released from the ovary. Do you understand? Because the estrogen, the ovaries release estrogen hormone at this time, and ovaries also develops. Ovaries every month it releases one egg. So there are two ovaries in the female reproductive system. Okay, now once in the month, one matured egg is released from one of the ovaries in the 28 to 30 days. That is menstruation. During this period, the lining of the uterus becomes more thick. The lining of the uterus becomes more thick, and some amount of moving blood also present there. So if the fertilization occurs, the uterus is ready for the development of the future baby. If the fertilization does not occur, the ovum is come outside. Okay, so the capacity lasts. Okay, the reproductive capacity lasts more in the boys than the girls. So they will continuously go and do this throughout their lives, but in the women, it occurs about 45 to 50 years, up to 45 to 50 years. At the age of this, the menstrual cycle stops. It is known as menopause. Okay, so dear students, here you have to notice that one, the boys and girls, when they reach into the adolescence, they are ready for reproduction. Okay, even though they are ready for reproduction, but only their bodies are growth, but their mental growth is not ready. They are still far away from the mental growth and development. So in these cases, they are unfit for the reproduction. Okay, because the early mother or early childhood and the childhood, early motherhood and early marriages are very dangerous. Next topic is child marriages. I will explain there. So the releasing of ovum from the ovaries from the age of 11 to 15 years. Okay, the reproduction capacity lasts much longer in the men than the women. Okay, the releasing of first menstruation is known as menarche. Okay, now once in a month, every one ovum is released from the one of the ovary in 28 to 30 days. During this period, do you understand? In your textbook it is there. You can follow that. Okay, now? So during the month, in a month, one of the matured egg is released from the one of the ovaries in the 28 to 30 days. During this time, the uterus becomes thick. The uterus walls become thicker. Okay? And small pools of movement also, blood also appears here. When the fertilization occurs, the fertilized zygote is developed as a future baby. If the fertilization does not take place, the zygote come out as menstruation. Okay? So every month it happen like this. If any irregular up and downs are occurs, consult the gynecologist. Okay? That is about this adolescence and their reproductive phase. Here, dear students, we have to know about the child marriages. Why I am explaining here? Just now I said or I explained about the reproductive phase of the life, because whenever they entered into the adolescence, the reproductive phase is ready, but their mental growth and development is not occur. So in some of the sections of the society, when the some of the sections in the society, especially in the rural areas. So what has happened? Whenever the girls entered into this adolescence, they feel a type of fear. Because of that, they ready to get married her. Okay? Get married that girl. They stop the education and ready to perform the marriage with boys. Okay, na? So the child marriage is a social evil. Marriages are social and cultural events. Okay, na? Marriages are social and cultural programs or events to continue the race of the humans and also to generate the next generation, to produce the next generation. That is the main purpose of the child marriage. Marriages. What is the main purpose of marriages? Marriage is a social and cultural practice to continue the human race or human generations. But I already told you that some of the sections in the society, some of the people in the society, they feel worried about their adolescent girls. So they're ready to get married her with another persons, other boys, or relatives or others. So, but this type of practice is very dangerous, because if you perform the child marriages, the adolescent child health will be damaged. Even though, because the adolescent child is unable to, or she is unable to have the motherhood, and also she will develop some type of diseases also. The health, the mental and physical health will be defected. Do you understand? So the government of India proposed that, you might know that, the government of India proposed that the legal marriage age for girls is 21 years, for boys is 23 years. Okay, because the childhood, the adolescence, the teenager mother is unfit for the responsible to take responsibilities to take to the child. Yes or no? And also she is unable for the motherhood. Okay, some of the societies or some of the sections in the society perform these child marriages. In our textbook also one story is there. Lata, who was studying 8th class, his parents planned after she entered into the adolescence. Her parents planned to get her married. She fight with them, but she failed. They didn't listen her words. So by passing this information to his parents, teachers, and neighbors, and the social workers in the society, she rescued from that child marriages. Now she is studying her higher sections in the society. Okay, so dear student, child marriage is a social evil. Because of that, I explained about it. The adolescent girl or the teenager is unable to have the responsibilities of motherhood. Okay, so now